Welcome to the Purposely Aligned Entrepreneur Podcast presented by Boss Girl Creative. This is episode number 470. Today, I'm talking about how to find your superpower in business. Now let's dive in.
Have you already found business success but feel lonely at the top? Or do you feel like you're at a place in your business where others just don't get it? Or maybe you feel like you have to make yourself smaller in order for others to not feel less than. Or maybe just a little bit of all three. But with all that said, there is good news because I've been there and I see you, sister. I'm Taylor Bradford, the torchbearer of this podcast and sisterhood, and I'm here to lead and inspire you to stay purposely aligned in the success you have found and provide you with support, guidance, and a sisterhood to keep going, because I do get it. Your business journey isn't meant to be traveled alone. So grab a notebook, your favorite pen, and a bevy, and let's dive into this together with this latest podcast episode. Welcome to the Purposely Aligned Entrepreneur Podcast presented by Boss Girl Creative and me.
Hello, welcome to episode number 470. I'm your host, Taylor Bradford. Thank you so much for being here, for pressing play. This is all about finding your superpower in business. And I'm really excited to talk about this topic and what kind of brought this topic to the forefront. And reminder, I have a beautiful 90-day undated planner that is available for you. And it is going to help you stay in alignment with what it is that you're trying to accomplish. So there's a focus on gratitude, there's a focus on your mindset and your affirmations, but also your task and to-do list. And you can track the moon phases if you want. There's affirmations at the bottom of every single page. And it's just to keep you uplifted and moving forward. And you can start it whenever you want to. It's 90 days undated. You can start at the beginning of a month, at the beginning of a quarter, whatever you choose to do. And it's available. You can buy it on Amazon. Go to bossgirlcreative.com/BGC planner to grab a copy today. So let's dive into this week's social media headlines and find out what's been going on. Social media headline number 1, did you know that you cannot opt out of Meta using your post for AI training? Yes, Meta is using your public post to train its AI systems. Whoa, Nelly. Social media headline number 2, Instagram is back to clarify the advice on single word CTAs and longer reels. So if you heard me last week, you knew that Instagram put out a video and then took it down and it created an uproar, and now the video's back with more clarification. This is what they have to say. Don't try to hack engagement. And here's what we mean by that. If we believe your content explicitly asks for engagement through shares, comments, tags, or other actions, then we won't recommend it. An example of this is asking people to comment with a specific word, number, or emoji. The concern among creators is that this could restrict their capacity to use IG to drive leads and engagement with some third-party automation tools like ManyChat, using single-word responses as a trigger to drive more engagement. Instagram has clarified that such uses are not a problem and were not the intended target of this advice. Here's what they have to say. Open-ended questions and calls to action are a great way to engage with your audience. There haven't been changes to our recommendation guidelines, and creators can still use third-party services such as ManyChat to enhance how they engage with their audiences. What may impact your content's ability to be recommended is if you post content that attempts to game the system by eliciting specific interactions from people to hack Instagram's recommendations for more reach. Earnestly engaging with your audience in the comments and DMs to connect personally, generate leads, or drive conversions is not considered to be engagement bait. I think that there's still going to be some animosity surrounding that, so this is still TBD. Social media headline number 3, keeping with Instagram, they are currently testing text overlays and image formatting within carousel posts. New options for your Instagram carousels are on the way, potentially. And the final social media headline to share with you this week is about Pinterest. A recent report shows Pinterest drives more total attention than other apps. The data suggests that Pinterest drives more active and passive attention. So if you're sleeping on Pinterest, I'm going to encourage you to stop doing that because Pinterest is a very strong traffic driver. And that wraps up this week's social media headlines. So let's get into finding your business superpower and what that even means. So just a real quick definition of what a superpower is. It's a talent or a skill that makes you stand out in your field or your niche and helps you provide something valuable to your customers. And it can be something you're naturally good at or something that you've developed through education or experience, and you might have more than one superpower. Now, I attribute having a superpower in business to understanding your purpose and understanding why you're even showing up and doing the things that you're doing in your business. And I think that is a very important aspect to business in general. It's why I talk about knowing your pillars, understanding your pillars, and building a very strong business foundation through shoring up all of these pillars, which if you haven't grabbed a copy of my book, Pillars and Purpose, How to Build a Business That Works for You, I'm going to encourage you to do that. You can go to bossgirlcreative.com/pillars book. That's pillars with an S book, and it will take you directly to Amazon for you to grab a copy. I have an actual tangible copy or a Kindle version, you choose. And so I feel like your superpower is defined once you figure out what your purpose is and what your why is regarding your business, because all of that needs to have a central focus. Like your business should be completely surrounded. Like if you were to put yourself in the middle and drew a circle around yourself, you became the point. You're almost like your own version of a Venn diagram. Like all of these circles are wrapping around you, but you're the central focus, your purpose and your why. And the reason we are talking about that today is that I recently had a conversation about my superpower. And you guys know, if you've been listening for any length of time, or if you're brand new to the show, welcome to the show. I am just in it to always know or always be learning. And so I have been buying courses. I have been hiring coaches. I have been just investing in all the things because I want to know, where do I have a lack? Where do I need some shoring up? Who can teach me something I don't already know, or who can refresh my brain and just bring something back to the forefront? Recently, I have bought something regarding clarity in business. I have hired a coach to help me just wrap my brain around this other experiment Instagram that I have, and which I've been documenting on this podcast, which has been such an interesting journey. And I have an update for that, but let me get through this thought first. And I have bought a mini chat automation thing, and I have just the amount of things that I've been adding to my arsenal and getting through, smashing sales in your stories. That was an incredible course that I purchased, and just other Instagram growth strategies. And not ashamed to say I'm investing in people to see if they can teach me something that I don't know or that I need a tune-up on. So let's get back to this quick, okay, where am I at in this social media experiment? So I had an account that I started in January that was face forward, and I was doing all of these strategies. I was testing out these strategies. And it was crap content. I was performing crap content on purpose, which is really cringe, because it was crap. And I knew it was crap, but I was testing some strategies. And then I decided, you know what? Like me dancing in front of a camera, there's not a whole lot to that. There's really no value, again, crap content. And so then I started pivoting the content and moving away from the crap, but I was still in front of the camera, but trying to be better, I don't know, coming at it like a servant's heart, teaching, getting back to being the mentor that I am, being the teacher and the coach that I am. And so, but I was still being in front of the camera, and I was feeling a disconnect there. And partly because of how I'd already trained the algorithm and it just wasn't going anywhere. So then I started the Faceless account at the end of March. And then I decided the other account, the original account, needed to be faceless. So I scrapped all the content, I archived it all, and I was running 2 accounts, both of them faceless, even though the original was kind of more of a hybrid. My profile picture was still me, but all the content had moved over into faceless content. And then I was like, this is too much. I can't, I am literally at my point. I can't do all of these things by myself. So I backed off on the original account and went all in on the faceless account, but I was still seeing the disconnect. And for me personally, one of my core values is relationship building. To be able to reach across the screen and pull you into my orbit so that I can nurture your growth. I can nurture you individually, even though I don't have a clue who you are until you reach back out to me. And so I found this disconnect. I found I wasn't connecting because who knew who I was? And I was trying to not allow any other audience to find this account. I was trying to just create new momentum. And then I was like, why are we doing this, Taylor? I was thinking to myself, why are we doing this? If your goal, at the end of the day, what is the goal? The goal for me was to test strategies, which I have answers for. They were all crap, all crap. And it was based on what I was seeing. It wasn't based on anybody's actual, well, I shouldn't say that. I was implementing strategies based on people's advice that had no business giving that advice, but here we are. But if I went back to the drawing board and was like, let's actually do some strategies that work, because I'd already trained the algorithm a certain way, it takes time to undo that, which is so frustrating. That's why people are like, just start another account. And I'm like, oh, but that means you got to come up with another name and an email and a website and all of the things. And so I decided 2 weeks ago with the second account to bring my face back into it, to make connection. Because here's the thing, I have 20 years in business. 20 years. I have been online for 15 of those 20. So the first 5, there was no social media. There was nothing really existed the first 5 years of this existence. I mean, email existed, and I think Facebook did, but you had to be in college to get a Facebook account. And I wasn't in college at that point. So I had to wait until Facebook allowed college alumni email addresses to get a Facebook account. This is the trajectory of Facebook, by the way. So I didn't have Facebook, I don't think, until 2011, maybe 2010. But anyways, that's, neither here nor there. So in this account, so I decided, you have all of this experience, you have all of this knowledge. Your superpower is connecting and nurturing and working with sophomore level business owners. So what does that mean? Sophomore level. Freshmen, you're not my thing. I need sophomore and above. And I say that with so much heart and love. I don't have the capacity to help you learn a platform. I have the capacity to help you strategize what you've already been doing or not doing. I can't teach you how to get a Pinterest account. I can't teach you how to set up your boards. I can't teach you, well, I mean, I could, but I don't have the desire to. I need somebody that I can truly help. My superpower that I can truly help is somebody that's at least sophomore level business. That means at least 1 full year in, that already has the accounts, that has already been testing things, that has found some success or maybe a little bit of success, and just doesn't know how to grow from there. That is my superpower. That is where I excel. Now, the other thing that I feel is my superpower, but I have yet to figure out how to actually make the connection, is to help women who have found a level of success, whatever that means for them, who have found a level of success, but are feeling lonely at the top. And that's truly what this podcast is supposed to be serving, or who I feel is supposed to be serving. But, as I start, with this most recent Instagram social experiment, I'm realizing that it's really hard to attract that person. And again, I was having this conversation with this coach that I've just recently hired, and we're talking about superpowers and why am I holding back who I actually am and what I have accomplished to date, which is quite a lot. And my life, my trajectory, my path is unlike anyone else, just like yours is unlike anyone else's. And the sacrifices that I've made, the choices, every day you get to make choices. For example, this is such a random tangent, but there was a semi-truck parked in front of my house a couple of nights ago. This is the second time this semi-truck has been parked. They post a sign in their windows saying they're doing laundry. This is a residential road. All of the through roads around my residential road are not open for truckers. To even be back in my neighborhood with a massive semi is against every city ordinance that exists. And so the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, because he's parking in front of my driveway, which is making it challenging to get in and get out with massive trucks that we both drive. And so I was like, okay, well, benefit of the doubt, I've never seen this truck here before, and I've owned this property for 20 years. So, okay, but he came back. And so I called the not emergency police line the next morning because he was still there. So if you're really doing laundry, does it take you 24 hours to do it, or even 12 hours to do laundry? I don't think so. So anyways, hopefully we don't see him back again. But getting back to the choices that you make every single day, this guy chooses to be a truck driver, which is great. We need truck drivers. But you also get to know that there's places where you can park and cannot park. And yeah, so I didn't choose to be a truck driver, and I know the city ordinances, so I would be looking for a lot that I could legally park my truck in order for me to do laundry. And I would keep a car wherever I'm parking my semi-truck when I need to do laundry. These are the things that go through my head. This is not where you legally park your truck, sir, to do your laundry, okay? It's just not. So anyways, back to choices. We all have choices to make in life, and I have chosen certain choices just like you have chosen certain choices. And throughout my world of the choices, now I've not always made the right choices. There have been moments where I'm like, whoa, that was a total fail. And I've had to learn how to pivot, or, okay, let's scrap that because that got us nowhere, or that got us in a worse situation, and how do we recover from that? So I'm not saying that every single choice that I've made in 20 years of being a business owner has been the right thing, but failure and success, you got to have failure to get success. That's how business works. And so through my self-discovery of what I'm good at doing and where my superpowers come from, I realize that I do best at helping sophomore level plus business owners. I'm not good at the hand-holding of freshman business owner. It's sophomore level and up. And that other gap that I was speaking about just a moment ago is the women that have found a level of success but feel lonely at the top. And this conversation that I was having with this new coach, so I'm going to pick up that thread of thought again, is that level of entrepreneur, that successful female entrepreneur that has found a level of success based on their definition and feeling lonely at the top, they are terrified to have conversations with people for fear of being stepped on, for fear of having ideas stolen from them. the world of women in business at that level is so cutthroat. No wonder no one wants to have a conversation. And if you do want to have a conversation, you're paying 6 figures to get in a mastermind that is probably full of men. And it's just like so backwards that is the reality. And so here I'm telling this coach, like, I would love to mastermind with these women to help them like work through whatever hurdles they've got right now, because I'm there. I am there too. Like, what I'm Googling is just some crazy stuff that I don't have anyone else to ask about. I have to ask Google. I have to go to ChatGPT and see what results are turned back to me. I have to go to Pinterest. There's not that many people that I can actually have those conversations with. But that's not where this podcast focus should be. This podcast focus should be my other superpower, which is helping sophomore level plus business owners legitimately make more money, get more sales, and figure out their actual workflows and their funnels and all of the tech pieces that make it all work. And figuring out when it's time to hire somebody so that you can double your revenue because you now have another set of hands helping you out in your business. So, what is your superpower and how do you even go about figuring out what your superpower is? It does start with your purpose and your why. Like, absolutely, hands down, it absolutely has to start there. So I want you to start thinking, what's the unique trait that you have? What's something you do without effort or hesitation? What's a thing you can offer other people that will help them? And at the core of all of that is your purpose and your why. But that can at least get like the thought bubbles going for you to figure out what your superpower is. And honestly, it's okay if you haven't figured it out yet, especially if you're early on in business or you're at the sophomore level business. But sometimes right out of the gate, you can know without a shadow of a doubt what your superpower is. So the reason it is so incredibly valuable to know what your superpower is so that you can use it to your advantage. Because when you can use it to your advantage, it is something that will help you in your life and your business, but will also help others. And that is powerful, because if you have this unique ability to do this thing for somebody, you're solving a problem, you're providing a solution. If you have this thing that can do this thing for others, like your unique ability is helping you, but it is also helping others, what a freaking world we're building, you know? So go back and think, what's the unique trait that you have? What's something you can do without effort or hesitation? And what's the thing you can offer other people that will help them? And that will help you define your superpower, which should be your purpose and your why. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. Again, grab a copy of my 90-day undated planner. Embark on a transformative journey towards your entrepreneurial dreams with the Purposely Aligned Entrepreneur Planner, crafted with precision and designed for the driven. This undated planner offers a framework to align your actions with your purpose, maximizing your potential over the next 90 days. You can get a copy, bossgirlcreative.com/BGC planner. Until next time, I hope you have a great rest of your week.
Oh, wait, before I go, thank you truly for your support of my own business journey and this podcast, The Purposely Aligned Entrepreneur. If you know another entrepreneur who is in the same business trenches, who has already found success but might be feeling a bit lonely in their journey, my hope is that you'll share this podcast and this sisterhood with them, because this, what we do day in and day out, isn't meant to be done alone. Speaking of lonely, if you're ready to squash the business journey loneliness, stop what you're doing right now and join the sisterhood. Visit bossgirlcreative.com/sisterhood. I can't wait to see you in there.